Right, it's time to quick speed shop. Check it out. We're out in the driveway working on the Black 80 Dodge. It's back on all fours. I can't believe it. These Western mags are awesome. Anyways, today I'm going to pull the drums off. We're going to attempt to put brakes on it and see what it needs. I've got all the stuff, but can I save some money by not putting all new brake parts on it? That seems like the right thing to do. Nope. And the frame's all fixed. It's back on all fours. The weather's nasty, but we're still making it happen. Let's start working on the Black 80 Dodge before the tent blows away. All right, guys, we're back at it here at the Quick Speed Shop. Out rain edition. Cold, cold rain edition here. Time to put some brakes on the 80 Dodge so I can put the wheels back on it so I can get it out of the way, because we got other projects in the shop like the C10 that need to happen. And I got all kinds of new brake parts for it except drums, and now I'm regretting that decision already because look how rotted this, watch out for the rain, rotted this drum is. But I'm hoping to, it rolls, but it won't. I think it's seized on the hub. When was the last time these brakes were off? I don't know. We got new shoes, new hardware, new wheel cylinders. We're gonna put new, ooh, that's, we're getting rained on. I'm trying to direct the rain away from me in the most possible way. We're gonna have to work one side at a time. Come on off of there. Really don't want to have to buy new drums if I don't have to. These guys are probably seized right there. Great. Ooh, there we go. Ah, perfect. Boom. How do they look? Woo! Not too bad. Yeah, a little draggy. Man, these drums are thin. Holy shamoly, they're thin. Look how thin the braking surface is. That's okay though, because we're not going on the road. We're just going to where we got to be, and that's in the plow action around the yard. Actually, these shoes are not in bad shape at all, wear-wise. Should I replace them? I bought all new hardware and shoes and everything, but maybe we can just get away with, ooh, that's dusty. Get away with, watch out for the rain, get away with just replacing the wheel cylinders and the adjusters maybe. Oh, even the adjusters turn. Man, these shoes are mint. You know what? I think we're going to save all our hardware, and we're just going to do what we got to do, which is the bare minimum. We're going to put new wheel cylinders on it and call it good. But if I got to do all that, does it make sense? Can I sneak the wheel cylinder out without taking the whole thing apart? Probably. Because there's no reason to, these shoes are mint. Let me get some compressed air. We're going to blow this off. You can't have nothing nice. Holy schmoly. Well, there we go. Yeah, there's really not any reason. The wheel cylinders probably need to be replaced, but the rest of the hardware, it looks good. The brake adjuster adjusts, all the cables are intact, the springs are intact. Oops, is this cable broke? It's just, it's loose or something. Oh, you know what, we're missing, what's going on here? It's just loose like a goose for whatever reason. That is what it is. So I brought all, like I said, I bought all brand new hardware, but the shoes I have 3/4 of the life left in them, so there's no reason, absolutely no reason to put new brakes on this if I don't need to put new brakes on this, because it's just going to be a plow vehicle, and I'll have the brake parts if I need them. But we're going to change a wheel cylinder. So what do I need to do to get that out of there? Looks like 7/16 bolts, 1/4 bolts. We'll bang that wheel cylinder out, and I probably got to take the shoes loose, or at least one of the shoes. Let's take one of the shoes loose. I still don't have any brake tools to work on brakes because I'm too dumb to buy the actual tool that we need. But it is what it is. I wasn't sure. Watch, the other side will be destroyed, and then I'll end up putting all new brakes on it anyways. But I do have new wheel cylinders, and it's fine. This is why you always look at things. I just bought all the parts for this truck are so cheap. Like, I bought every single piece of component for the brake system except for the drums, and it was like 200 bucks, if that. So, you know, I'm not really mad about not needing stuff. Yeah, somebody had just put brakes on this. The paint's still on the springs and everything. So I think that guy can pull this shoe out of the way a little bit to get the wheel cylinder out. Yeah. Push this guy out of the way. Probably get that out. We'll snip the line off and get the wheel cylinder out and change that real fast. The fun part will be we'll get to run new brake lines. So I'm just going to cut this guy right off of here. We don't need them. I'm going to put all new brake lines on this thing because they're super rotted junk. There we go. Now there's no emergency brake cables on this. They both rusted off a long time ago, but this is just an off-road plow truck, so I didn't bother putting emergency brake cables on it. There's no reason to. I'm not going to use the emergency brake ever, and there's no reason to waste money for the parts to do that. So the bolts came right out. Somebody might have also put wheel cylinders in this. Who knows? But there we go. Wrestle this guy right out of here. Oh, can I get it out of the hole? Yes, maybe. Come on out of there. Yes. Woo. Oh, you know what? Somebody did put wheel cylinders in this. They are... that one's got some rust in it, but they... I'm sure they've been replaced. They're bare metal on the inside, but they're super, super cheap. And it's good insurance, so we don't have a leaking wheel cylinder. So we'll get rid of that guy, and I'm sure the brake lines are probably rusted in there. So that's easy. I got a brand new wheel cylinder right here ready to go. I love it. This makes my job easier. Why do the hard work when you can do it the easy way? I'm lazy. I'm lazy and cheap. Lazy and cheap, just like all my girlfriends. So we got ourselves a brand new wheel cylinder. Does it look the same? Yes. Yes. Okay. Bam. So one thing I like to do is put anti-seize, which I thought I brought out here. Now it's gone. I don't need these boots. Boom. I'll put some anti-seize on the ends of these. We'll put some anti-seize in here. I like to put anti-seize on the face and the threads and everything. Just anti-seize the crap out of it. Bang it back in there. And then we're restored. I could sneak the adjuster out, put some anti-seize on the adjuster, but everything else looks good. I do have all the hardware, like I said, if I have to replace anything on the other side, but it looks like we're mint, ready to rock and roll here. Right, I found my anti-seize. First thing I'm going to do is put it on this hub surface of the hub so the drum doesn't stick to the hub like it was before. It's all bare metal in here, and this will give us a little rust prevention. You could also use grease if you wanted to, but I have the anti-seize out. Might as well slobber on everything and get it everywhere, because that's what you do with anti-seize. You get it on everything. Boom. All right. It's already on everything. So I'm going to put it all over the face of this, where it goes through so it doesn't rust to the backing plate. And eventually, once we put it in here, I'm going to take the, what do you call it? I'm going to take the bleeder out, and I put anti-seize on the bleeder threads as well. That way the bleeders don't seize up in the unit. There's one. Get in there. Yeah. Now this truck needs the entire brake system rebuilt. I have a used booster and master cylinder out of the junkyard for it, which the booster looks like it's junk and the master cylinder. Also, the boosters for the half tons are not available currently in the aftermarket right now, which I found out when I did my other 80 Dodge. I ended up using a 1-ton booster, and it worked out fine. So I was at the junkyard and I found a booster out of another truck that looked like it was okay. And if I could just land this guy in here, it would be golden. Oops. There we go. There we go. Boom. All right. Well, anti-seize on our bolts. Might as well reuse the bolts too. They're still good. Usually they break off, but like I said, somebody had done brakes on this thing at some point in its life before it got parked. There we go. Look at that. Boom. Restored already. Can I drop the adjuster out the bottom without too much trouble? Maybe. Maybe. If I wheel her in all the way, maybe. Oh, it turns nice. All right, cool. I did buy new adjusters, but we'll save on them. Peel this guy out real fast. Come on out of there, you know you want to. Put a little goo on there. Get that right in there, nice. A little dab will do you. Anti-seize, and then where's our threads? Oh, the threaded end is here. A little dab will do this guy. Boom. There we go. Well, this guy won't seize up. They make brake grease and stuff that's actually probably the right thing to do it, but my level of care is no. Hey, the sun's coming out. Maybe the rain stopped. Just wad this guy back in here. Can't see how it's supposed to go. It's fine. I would like to lay down, but everything is wet. Oh boy. There we go. Hoop. Yes. Hoop. Yes. Okay. All right. That's about all we got to do with that. I always like to give the brakes a little whack. Do I need to do anything to this? Nah, it's a little scaly, but it'll clean up when we drive the truck around. Self-clearance. Oops, did I make the brakes too tight? Nope. Tighten them up just a little bit. That's about good right there. I like that. So we're good to go. A little more anti-seize on here. Let's throw some on the wheel surface just because. You know what? We should get us some black paint and paint our drums black. For just such an occasion as this, I got some Rebuild Black by Vice Grip Garage. So we'll give it a little ch-ch. Oh yeah, there we go, rebuilding. Restored, perfect. Nobody's gonna even know. Now this is very cold out here and rainy, but guess what? it's going right on. There guarantees it for all temperatures and applications. I don't know if that's true, but I'm going to say it's true. Man, that looks mint. Ah. Hoop. Oop. Yeah. Mint. Rebuilding, restoring. Can't even tell. Brand new brakes. That's awesome. Yes. It looks so good. The secret is to paint over the anti-seize, that's so you don't see the anti-seize once you put the wheels on. Yeah, look at that. That is mint. Boom. We are on the side that got rained on moments ago, but it looks like the rain has temporarily subsided. So let's go ahead and do this side right quick before it starts raining again. You'll notice the whole frame has been restored, all brand new metal. If you've been watching, if you haven't watched, go ahead and watch it and see how rusty this thing was to begin with. And it was pretty bad. Now, one old hit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh boy. Ooh, that's not good. I see a lot of chunks. Holy shamoly. Ooh, this drum is way worse. Nice. How are the shoes though? Not bad at all. Uh-oh. We got a debonded shoe back here and a debonded shoe here. Guess what? We're gonna have to put new shoes on this side. And does that mean I take the other side back apart and I put the new shoes on that side, because why would it make sense just to have one shoe? Is this the side that's got the hole through the backing plate? It is. There's actually a rust hole in the backing plate. Fan-freaking-tastic. Anyways, wonderful. That means, first of all, let me blow all this off. Watch your noses. Yep. I guess we should have started with the rusty side first. We got lucky and started on the easy side, but now we got a rusty side. Yeah, these shoes are delaminated, they're just bonded, and they're coming apart. Nuts. I thought I was gonna get by with not doing a darn thing. I mean, the answer is you could just run them, but they'll break free and then I'll get jammed up in the drum. Yeah, this drum is super freaking thin too. Super thin. I bet it's been turned before, maybe not, maybe it's just got a bunch of miles on it. Truck's showing, I think, 99,000. Or no, less than that, 55,000 or something. No, it's not a lot. Yeah, this drum is thin AF, but for not driving on the street, I think it's going to be fine. So we'll put it back together with the drums we got now. Why is there two yellow springs on this side? For the left-hand side, probably. So I'm going to have to go ahead and disassemble all this and reassemble some new brake action. Well, now that wasn't bad at all. Check it out, bam. You can see everything was really nasty, full of bugs, but these shoes had delaminated from the bonding material just from rust. So I put new wheel cylinders, cables. I reused some of the springs. Like this, like I said, had new brakes on it recently before it was put away for stored in the junk. So I replaced, like, the lower spring was rusty from sitting around. These springs actually are probably fine, these upper springs. I might save these. But I only used what I had to use. I reused the purple springs to hold the shoes on because they still got all the paint on them and stuff. And I didn't use I put new nails in them because they were rusty. But I tried to save as much of the hardware. I'll put this in the inventory. And I'm not going to put the shoes on the other side because there's nothing wrong with the other side. I fixed the thing. This side just got more rust in it from how it was sitting. So I'm going to save all the shoes and hardware and stuff in a little box marked 80 Dodge half ton. So that way, you know, if one of these cheap bonded shoes cover comes apart or whatever, one of those shoes comes apart, I'll have extra parts. But you can see the thickness here compared to the new ones. This truck had brand new brakes on it once it got, and then it just got put away in a field. So the other side is fine. So let's just go ahead and throw the drum back on this side. I'm going to look at drums. I'm curious if they're like, you know, 30 bucks a piece or something. I might go for new drums just to have drums. This one's rotted pretty bad and it's really, really thin. And yeah, I don't know if it's been turned or it's just nasty. And you know, if I can get away with drums from Rock Auto, maybe find a closeout on some drums that are super cheap, I might throw drums at it just because. The rotors I'm just going to clean up when we do the front. The rotors are going to get cleaned up with a little roll-lock disc and a Scotch-Brite or whatever, because I'm not taking a whole front end apart to put rotors on it. It'll stop good enough for who it's for, and that's the driveway plowing snow. But we had to do it on this side, obviously. It was nasty. Everything was nasty. The wheel cylinder was nasty, and you can see the whole edge of the drum is shot. It's super, super thin. It would make sense to get a drum, but we'll think about that later. How tight are we gonna, oh, it's hard over here. Ow. Let's go out one more click, a couple of clicks. One more click. There we go. Bam. We got the rebuild black out already. I'm just gonna NACs this surface up real fast and we'll paint right over it, because why not? It's in between sun and raindrops here. I'm right now I'm getting rained on by the tent. The tent's getting me, but that's all right. Boom. I love it. Oh, the drum has got rained on too. We're gonna go ahead and disregard that and just blow paint right on it, right over the water. Derek says this stuff is good for underwater use too. Oh yeah, look at that. We've actually rebuilt it twice now. New shoes and rebuilt drums. I love it. Awesome. It looks so nice. Gotta get the backing plates. You might have seen on the time lapse, I pulled out the stub for the e-brake, was all just in there freewheeling. So I took that guy out so it won't cause any trouble. Yeah, I should get a new drum because the braking surface, that's why the drum's rust on this side. The inner lip of that shoe is exposed, and so I can probably stop rebuilding this drum. But let's rebuild it anyways because we're here. So I'll have to get new drums. This one, I can clearly see the shoes in it. Right there, you see the shoes. Or right here, you see the shoes in there. That's not good. That's just going to get all rusty again. So I'm going to have to bite the bullet and get some new rear drums from Rock Auto. That's fine. And oh, actually, I had some quarter 20, little short quarter 20s. These are somebody to replace these when they replace the wheel cylinder. I put stainless bolts in it, so it'll be last forever. It's like a restoration project, a street rod project, restored. But bam, all right. So that's done. Let's go ahead and let's put a new rubber hose on the rear end over here of the truck. And let's start running some brake lines, at least on the rear end, and then start running them towards the front. Man, this thing is dropping all kinds of parts under here. Look at that. I lost a body mount. There's a body mount. There's a snubber. It's losing. Oh, I can put the wiring harness back in. It's losing parts and pieces. We got to get this thing done before it falls right apart in the driveway again. But at least it's good from here back. It's mint. First thing we're going to replace is the rubber hose here, which hopefully will come right off. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's usually a bolt with a breather, but I think the breather is somewhere else on this. Where is the breather? What is this random bracket attached to it? Huh. Well, got a random piece of sheet metal attached to that, but I need the bolt out of there. I don't know what that is. That's just a regular bolt. I don't know what that bracket does. Oh, you know what that does? That held the e-brake cable, so we don't need that because we're not running e-brake. But should I put it back on for posterity? Nah. One thing I am going to do, oh, the wind's picking up. Hopefully I don't get blown away. We've got a wind warning today. We're going to put some anti-seize right there. Yeah. That way. Got a little, I wonder where the vent for the rear end is. There's something's all grungy over here. That could be a vent, but why would it be that? I don't know. Well, I'll think about that while we're bolting this guy down. I ordered all the parts for this on Rock Auto, and a lot of the brake parts were Dorman replacement parts, which is fine. And let's see, this was like this. This thing's tapered to fit on the, how was it on the rear end? Like that, there we go. It's got like a scallop in the back of it that like fits it to the rear end, but I'm not seeing how it was actually like that. I didn't pay attention when I took it off like a dummy. Uh-oh. Am I gonna be able to tighten that down without that bracket on there? The bolt kind of just stopped. Oh yeah. Okay. Boom, got it. This guy comes up to here, and there's a bracket on the frame with a hex, and it goes in the hex like hexy. I want it going. Is it a hex or is it a weird? Oh, it's a five-sided thing. It only goes one way. And I just got to play Tetris until I figure out which way it is. Is it that way? There we go. And I'm going to put some anti-seize, like I've been doing everything else, on here where this goes through the bracket, because why not? Now I can't see how it goes, but I've covered it in anti-seize. There we go. And then there's a spring clip here that's like shaped like this that pushes down and locks it on the other side and holds it in there. And I need something to tap it with. Vice grips to the rescue. Boom. So that locks that line in there. We're good. We're at max drop right now in the suspension because I put the 1-ton springs in this. If you've been following along the last couple of videos, it's got 1-ton springs in it now, even though it's a half-ton truck. And we had a debacle with the suspension. If you want to go back and watch that video, see how to solve that. But there's plenty of length in this hose. This truck is at max suspension drop right now, and when I put it together as a plow truck, it's going to get some weight in the back. So that's why I got the 1-ton springs at the junkyard. I got a concrete curb section and a couple other pieces of weight, so I'll probably put about 500 pounds worth of weight in the back of the truck. So I wanted the beefier springs, and they were in decent shape, and the springs originally in this truck were garbage. So we got our new hose. Now we're just going to get out the 3/16 line. I got some copper nickel alloy line. We're going to run lines to each side of the rear end real fast. And Then this guy is going to get a line that's going to run down the frame. But before I do that, I think I want to pick up my brake tools and my brake nonsense, because I'm just going to be stepping on it here in a second. And we're going to put the wiring harness back because I took it off the truck when I was doing the framework, and I want to put it back before I forget. All right, where's the harness? Here we go. Got to jam it back through the frame. Actually, am I gonna run through my boxing plates? Yeah, I got room. I'm just gonna have to fish it. I'm up here. Uh-oh. Am I gonna be able to fish it and reach it? Maybe. You see me? Oh yeah. There we go. I feel it. I feel it. Come here. There we go. I got the... There's a bunch of plastic loom holders that I'll stick this in once it comes through, but since I put these boxing plates on, I gotta fish everything through the action and get it back to where it's gotta go. All right, and the brake lines are going to come through about the same place, but that goes all the way across the back. All right, we got a plastic doohickey right here. Put the line on the doohickey. And I think the brake lines also go in the doohickey. No, they must have been on their own separate little brackets. Oh, crap. I don't remember. Actually, the brake lines are all rotted away and fallen off. So who knows how they were, but I can probably run them through those doohickeys. Or I might run the brake line down the outside of the frame on the boxing plate because it'd be easier for me to do that. Can't see nothing. There we go. I think it comes around the back of this cross member, if I remember correctly. Yes, it does. So I got to feed all this through there's like a wiring hole in the cross member. There we go. If I remember correctly, it was tight like a tiger. Because of the way that it is. This jacket is getting in the way, but I need it because it's cold AF out here. Boom. Got it. Now let's see, this is the driver's side, which kind of hangs out. Then this guy goes here, which you probably can't see because I'm on this side of the cross member, but trust me, I'm sticking it in the doohickeys. You hear it clip in there? Boom. And then there should be... I'm missing a doohickey, but that goes there, and this goes here. The line I'm going to be using is this copper nickel alloy line right here, and I've actually got a straight piece that I got from when we broke down on the side of the road in Pennsylvania in my green Ford, and it had a damaged fitting on it, so I had to go buy another piece, but the line is good, so it's got one good fitting on it, and so we can use that. And then when we were also on the road, I happened to buy one piece of steel line from AutoZone, which I don't run steel lines on anything, but this is short enough. I think it's going to reach, oh yeah, it's going to be perfect to reach right here. So we got this. We might as well use it. I'm just going to make it up real fast, or just bend it up by hand and get her to go. It's 3/16 and it's the coated green line from AutoZone. So it's a little rust resistant. It'll be good enough for what I'm doing. I always put a little anti-seize on the threads of the fittings that go into all the brake lines. Usually unions are brass, and you can get away without doing it on the unions, but since this wheel cylinder is steel and the rubber hose is steel, on the fittings, we're gonna go ahead and put some anti-seize on here. And I'm just going to bend this by hand real fast. Obviously, they make all kinds of benders, but for what I'm doing, this short little line. I can form this by hand. Gotta come around here. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm gonna come around the rear of the suspension. I need to bend just a little bit more. And here's a tip when you're making custom bends. If you don't want your fitting away from you can put a little bit of tape on the line to hold the fitting down near the end so you don't make a bend and then realize that the line is on the wrong side of the bend. That's happened many, many times. So I've got this guy in the wheel cylinder loosely. I'm just going to come around the back of the axle, which is probably hard for you guys to see right now because I'm in the way. But I'm just coming around the back of the axle, and then it's going to be, this line's going to be just long enough. It's actually going to be touching the axle just a little bit, which is okay. Obviously on a street vehicle, you probably wouldn't want it touching steel because it could rub and wear through it. But for this truck, it's not going to see enough vibration or miles to worry about that. And it's the right length, just barely to get me there. So I'm going to come right in the driver's side of the rubber line that we just put in. And I got her started, I think. I have a brake line wrench here, which has the correct boxed action for brake lines. You always want to use these if you can, so you don't round off the fittings, because that's always a bad day. But I'm over here. Just going to tighten her right into the wheel cylinder. That's probably good. I notice I've got anti-seize all over my brand new brake drums. Now will this reach on here and tighten this up? I might need to get a regular wrench here because I might not have enough action. It's too close. Oh, maybe it's too close to the rear end. Yeah, it's binding on the rear end. I've got to get an actual wrench. But like I said, you want to use the brake line wrench as much as possible. But since I can't get it to work because I was so close to the rear end, I'm using a regular box end wrench here. But this is a brand new fitting, and I can do it with this without destroying it. Nothing nicer than running new brake lines. And up here in New York State, just about everything that's been sitting around needs all brand new brake lines. Don't even try to get by, especially, you know, for what the line costs. I put all copper nickel alloy lines on everything, and some nicer cars like that C10 in the garage, I didn't buy it, but they sell stainless steel pre-bent kits. You can get all kinds of stuff, but I like to use the nickel copper alloy lines because they last forever. So that's good there. That's going to ride. It's just touching the U-bolt, but not enough to get by. It's actually really nice, and I coated the whole thing with anti-seize. But it comes around here nice. It's right behind, under the block on top of there. It's not going to get pinched. It's nice and high and tight. It's good. And then what I like to do when I get done is take the anti-seize, and I just do a little bit of anti-seize on the line behind the fitting just to coat it so it's got some kind of rust protection, because a lot of times you can't get the lines loose and you can't get them back off the line. So if you put a little anti-seize around the line where the fitting is too, or you could use grease or whatever, it'll kind of pre-lube that and keep it from rusting so you can get it back apart in the future if you need to. For the tent, shoot, I'm gonna lose the tent in 1 second here. Let's jam this guy through here real fast. Hang on a minute. The tent is trying to get away. Let's see, I need to bend this like this and like this. It's got wish I had waited to put the shocks on now, but that's okay. Let's see, get over here. Still, the wind is picking up something fierce. Let's go ahead and bend this guy a little bit more here. And then like this-ish. Oh yeah, nice. Okay. Let me, come on now. Get this started in here. Can't see nothing. Somebody painted this all black, so now it's really hard to see. Oh wait, that was me. Get in there. It's fighting me. There we go. All right. I'll loosely leave that there. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come around the back of the spring, or back of the axle leaf spring. Then we're going to go bend it like this, and then bend it back like that-ish. Now this is not a show truck, so it doesn't really matter, but we're going to do it the best we can. We're going to come up here like that. Shoot. Okay, hold on. Come like this, and I'm gonna put it on top of the rear end because of plowing and stuff. I don't want it to get caught, and I might even take this, see this bracket here on the rear end where the holder is? I might spin it around and put it up in the air so I can run the line right up in the air over the rear end. Rotate this guy up. Oops. It's meant to face down. It's got a little detent that holds it down in the right position, but we're going to change that right now. Make him face up, all the way up. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Boom, like that. All right, so then this line can come up here, can reach through there, something like that. I'm going to have to, it's just kind of float. Then it's going to go back down here, like that. And I'll tune this up once we get it where we got to have it. But it's going to go there, and it's going to come down here, and it's going to go over here. Bend like this. Just going to approximating. And then this is going to come down here. Need this to be straight so I can put the fitting on it actually. So we're going to approximate. I think the fitting needs to be right about there. I'll give myself a little bit of extra action. Sure. Looks good. So I'm going to just flare that real fast and put a new 3/16 fitting on it. And then we will install this line permanently. And there will be brand new brake lines on the back of our rear end here of our W150. That looks pretty good. It's almost factory, but not quite. Come around here. Get in here first. Put it on the wheel cylinder side first. Get that lined up. Get in there. Boom. Lock that guy down. Kind of like that. I put the longer side on the longer fitting side on the wheel cylinders, but the bleeders are awful long too, and it's kind of in the way. All right, that guy is there. It's, oh look, it's almost in there. We're gonna do that, bend that like that. And we're gonna come around here. I made it a little long, so I'm gonna put it in the fitting first, and then we'll like bend the line around and see if we can get it to do something. Okay, it's going in there. So again, I'll have to use a small wrench because of the way that it is. And I put anti-seize on these threads like I just said, so everything has got anti-seize. And I'll go and got it. Okay, that's tight. That's tight. Now how does it look line-wise? I can kind of do that, kind of do that. I'm just going to float like that, I guess. I'm going to come down here. Kind of like that. I'm going to put right here, I'm going to put something around it to hold it to the line, to the axle. It looks like it might have had a tab in the front of the axle at one time where it came around and you latched it in the front. Or actually, that was probably for the emergency brake. But that guy is good there. I'm going to take my pliers, where my pliers go. This guy has got a little bit of slop in him. I'm going to squeeze this down a little bit. Grasp right onto that line. Boom. All right, that guy's locked in there. You know what's better than a zip tie, because they're all cheap junk plastic and they end up breaking, is I got a stainless steel 3-inch hose clamp here. And if I just hose clamp this very gently to the rear end, it'll be fine. And it'll be just enough to hold it to the rear end. I'll just leave a very little amount of pressure on the line, not crush it or nothing, and just kind of make a band to hold it right to the rear end. There we go. Not a lot of pressure, but enough to lock it on there. And that guy is good. This has got room to go. This copper nickel alloy line, if it vibrates, it'll work hard and snap very easily, so you don't want to have that snap off. There we go. We got our line over here. We're coming across the rear end, across the top. That looks good. We got the hose clamp on there to hold it. And I stuck the rubber hose back in the line there. I'm not going to run the line up to the front yet because I don't have the master cylinder in the truck, so I don't have anywhere to run it to. And I'll wait till I can get the front of this going on here. But that looks good. Like I said, I'll order some drums. Get some drums coming, but that line is, it's not the best, but guess what? It's good enough for a plow truck. Made an attempt to make it look not completely horrendous. Definitely exciting. First time I'm putting the wheels back on with the new frame repair and the new suspension and all that. So I hope it works out all right. Ooh, these Western style mags sure are awesome. These are like the Little Red Express wheels, except those trucks are 5 on 4.5-inch bolt pattern, and this truck, for whatever reason, is 5 on 5.5 like the Ram Chargers and stuff. This is a 1980, so I know 78 4x4s had the small bolt pattern. So in, I don't know, 79 or 80, they went to the bigger, the 5 on 5.5-inch bolt pattern here. So that's why this guy's got the big pattern wheels, which it's probably tough to find these Western mags in the big pattern. Usually you can find them for the Little Red Express quite easily. And actually I got a couple of Western mags in the smaller bolt pattern that were for cars, but these bigger truck ones are harder to find. How many Ugga-Duggas? Don't need much because they got to come right back off. Close enough. All right, I think I can, yes, pull this guy out. Boom. Let's set her on down. Can't even tell because the springs are so stiff. All right, here we go. These wheels actually don't weigh a whole heck of a lot either. Look at that. I love it. They would have had some center caps in them. Half of them were busted when I got the wheels, so I took them all off. I think they actually look better without the center caps myself. And the front one's got the locker hubs hanging out of the front, which look cool. And these just have the smooth surface of the rear end, the blank face on them. But they have a 3-bolt hole. You could put any type of 3-bolt center that bolts on the 3 bolts. You could even run, probably all the Chrysler 3-bolt centers would bolt on them. I'm not a center cap guy. I like to run things, I like to see the lug nuts. Boom, close enough for government work. Tang, 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 tang. Look at that. Let's set her down. It's probably going to lean because the driveway is sloped, but it is what it is. Oh boy, this guy is stiff. Man, these 1-ton springs are so stiff. But like I said, I'm going to be putting some weight in this. The box is off it, obviously, but it's going to be getting a concrete curb, and I'll probably put some other weight in the back of it so it's got traction for winter. But it's definitely stiff. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Just a little brake job today in the rain and the snow. Like I said, I'll order up some drums for the back. We'll get those fixed. But we got new brake lines. We got new wheel cylinder on this side. All new brakes on that side. But like we showed you in the beginning, this side is okay. So I'll save all those parts for spares in case I ever need to do this side. I don't want to waste. It's already dark. No reason to waste time doing brakes when it doesn't need brakes, especially for this truck. But as you can see, it's back on the wheels on 1-ton springs in the back with custom lift blocks. Go back and watch that video so you can see what I had to do to get it to line up. But we've fixed the entire frame, has been fixed. There was huge holes in it. It's got all brand new steel in the front, new cross member, new rear rails, receiver hitch, boxed over the rear end, rust encapsulators painted on here after I wire wheeled all the scale off it. New shocks, new brake lines, new brakes, decent junkyard tires, chrome mags. What else could you hope for? This thing is super awesome. I've got to fix the cab mounts next. That's my next trick. Get them going, fix them. I ordered some new body bushings because these are shot. They're like 60 bucks. So I got them coming from Summit Racing. This has been a fun side quest project for me. I love, even though I've had a whole bunch of setbacks with the thing that I didn't plan on, I like fixing stuff like this. It came out really good. I'm really happy with it. It's fixed. It is what it is. It's an awesome truck. It was definitely on its way to the junkyard. If I didn't buy it, the kid I bought it from, nobody was going to buy it from him, and it would have ended up as scrap, I'm sure. So I saved it, and it's going to be a cool truck to plow with. It's a neat truck just to have to run and drive around on, but we fixed it up the best I could, and one old Dodge saved from the scrap pile. They don't make these things anymore, and they're harder and harder to find, especially where I live. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Probably bringing that yellow car up here to the shop to start pulling the motor. Look forward to that at the Quick Speed Shop.